Hello and welcome to Active Learning Activity by me, Joe Zesk. In this activity, I will be having my students who are secondary teachers working in a small group on a real life problem. In this case, they are writing a grant proposal on how to use technology to improve student learning in the classroom. And they're also going to experience how to work in a small group or in a team. Now, when working in a team, as the instructor, I need to make sure I create an environment where students rely on each other in order to work together as a group. And this is called positive interdependence. And also, I need to make sure that each student is held individually accountable. So there's some sort of individual accountability activity. And then also, there needs to be some group processing where the students get together, in this case online, has a group and they sort of process their effectiveness, what they have learned, and what they could do to improve this group activity and to learn more about this particular topic. So throughout the activity, I create what I call checkpoints. And these checkpoints are used to help students move down, move towards completing the project. And each checkpoint has a due date and it's worth a certain number of points. So in a way, it's kind of forcing them to work together on this project. Then once they get the things together, they're going to be putting information in a Google document. What's nice about Google document is that you can actually share this document. So students could look at this document even at the same time and they could type in, edit, and it actually is sort of like a open page where they can edit and add things. And I have put together a grading rubric that shows the students how I'm going to evaluate their final project. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be doing group processing and they're also going to be doing an individual journal. And this is a graded item and they will sort of process what they did, what they learned, and also what it's like working in a small group. Now, in this post, I've included links to various parts of this activity. I have the student assignment. I also give an actual live link to Google Docs. You can't edit things in Google Docs. I turned that off, but you can add comments. So if you want to add a comment to me, that's fine. And let me show you what Google Docs looks like. This is the Google document. And this is a page that students could all go to and they can edit. So they can actually type in right here the title of their project. In this case, they're writing a grant proposal. And there'll be 4 students in a group. That's their team. And they're going to list the names of each of their group members. Now, I could go back on this page at any time and see how they're progressing throughout the project. And that's why I call them sort of checkpoints. And they have to write down the goal of the grant and a brief overview. And that will be checkpoint 1. Checkpoint 2 is I'm going to divide the work up into chunks, I call it. And each person in the group gets one of these chunks. So they're going to write down what they're going to be researching or investigating each of the students. Then checkpoint 3, they're actually going to write 4 to 7 sentences, like a small paragraph, on what they discovered. So now they have these various chunks they can start putting together into a proposal. And of course, they need to have down objectives on what they're hoping their students will learn or accomplish from this activity that they're doing, this grant proposal. So they'll be writing that down, and they're also going to be writing an overview of their whole proposal. And this is going in drafts. First they did a draft overview, now they're doing a final overview. Then they actually go in and actually write the proposal. And here is some criteria for the proposal. It's over 1,000 words, and it talks about how to use the document. And these are the sort of the headings or the categories that they will have to type on. So this is sort of like an overview of the proposal and some of the checkpoints that I use to try to create that cooperative learning environment.